So this is a report. Steelers insider hints owner Art Rooney may step in to fire Matt Canada. I don't know if this is a report, if this is some kind of an opinion, but this is a video Steeler fans ain't gonna like, man. The Steelers are not going to fire Matt Canada. And if anything, everybody's blaming Mike Tomlin for the hires, and why hasn't he fired him yet? Mike Tomlin, you got to fire him. I'd say if anything's holding Mike Tomlin back from firing Matt Canada, it's the Rooneys. The Rooneys do business their way. They hire internally. They don't go out there and sign all these big name free agents. They don't go out there and sign all these big name coaches. They do things their ways. They hire internally, and they feel that's the best way to do business. And they have 1 year left with Matt Canada, I believe, on his contract. And they're just not going to fire this dude 2 games into the season. We played two of the best defenses in the league. Bill Cowher even said it takes at least 4 games to know where your team's really at. So we're really going to find out where the Steelers' offense is at against the Raiders' defense because they're trash. They give up like 80% of pass plays, like a percentage, completion percentage. Their secondary's terrible. Outside of Crosby, who do they have? Marcus Peters, who's old and washed up, is their best corner in their secondary, and I think he's a little banged up this week. So I see the Steelers offense really starting to turn around and show at least some kind of life. They're the worst on third down this season. They have 14 3 and outs, which is terrible. That's got to get changed. Definitely, they got to be able to sustain some type of drives, at least pick up some first downs to put the defense in better field position and help the offense get in a better field position. Let's be honest, the offense was set up with great field position all game long against the Browns, and that's pretty much what won the game. And Pickens having one good throw to Pickens. Other than that, Najee had a couple good runs. Warren had a couple good runs, but other than that, the offense was pretty much lifeless. Defense scored 2 touchdowns, changed the game. Highsmith pick six. Highsmith forced sack fumble, scoop, swoop, poop. Drew TJ Watt to the end zone. Got the two best edge rushers in football, Batman and Robin. TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith. So the idea that the Steelers are going to step in and fire Matt Canada is crazy. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen all season. I mean, I agree the offense is bad. Some of the play calling's bad, but it's a combination of a lot of things. And the Steelers are going to, I think they just like to go forward with what they got. I believe that's what they're going to do is move forward with Matt Canada and company and go down with the ship. And any personnel decisions that need to be made will be made and handled in the offseason, and they probably will see a new offensive coordinator. But I think making Kenny Pickett have to learn a new offense 2 games into the season is just crazy. Too much to ask of a second-year quarterback. You could say the Matt Cannon is holding Kenny back, which possibly he could be, but making him have to learn a whole entire new offense, that's not going to, the play calls are not everything. There's a lot to do with the execution, a lot to do with the offensive line playing terrible, Kenny Pickett being the worst graded quarterback in the league, Steelers offensive line being one of the worst graded in the league. So there's a lot going around and a lot of fingers to be pointed, and even the defense is giving a lot of yards up on the ground. I mean, I was gonna say I don't want anybody to blame the defense because the defense obviously are the reason we're 1-1 right now, and they're out on the field a lot. So obviously, you get a few first downs, it's going to change. You hit receivers with easy open throws, it's going to change, and it's going to make the offense start to click, get in the rhythm, and everything will get going. And we do have some injuries on the offensive side of the ball, that being our best wide receiver in Deontay Johnson. So, and he'll be back in 3-4 weeks. Hopefully, by the Ravens game, we get Deontay Johnson back. And if he misses that one, then hey, hopefully, we'll be at the worst. I'd say we'll be looking at 3-2 against the Ravens. Best case scenario, 4-1. I think we should handle the Colts. I think we should handle business against the Raiders, and the Ravens is going to be a tough game. But they have a ton of injuries going up against an easy team. But they have a ton on the injury list. So this idea that we're going to fire Matt Canada is crazy. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't even think this is true. I think this is just clickbait, and the Steelers aren't going to fire Matt Canada. If anything, the Rooneys are the reason we're not firing Canada, not Tomlin. The Rooneys are the ones calling the shots, making the personnel decisions. So to say that Art Rooney's going to step in and fire Canada. It's crazy. If anything, he would tell Mike Tomlin, he'd be like, Tomlin, you do it. Or he would tell Omar Khan to do it. He doesn't want the media to know or anybody to know the decisions that he's making. That's why he has Omar Khan. That's why he has Mike Tomlin. Those are the front men. And he sits up in the office and signs his name on the check. That's his job, is to sign his name on a check. Other than that, it's to hire the GM to make all those decisions and get all the criticism to make all those decisions. But like I said, the Rooneys, they hire internally. That's the way they do business. They're not going to just fire a coach. They're going to let the contract run out, and then they're going to do business in the offseason, which is pretty much for the most part always great business. And we have a lot of easy games coming up, two specifically, the Raiders in Houston, and then a big division game. So once we're there, then you can really start to judging and determining where this team's at. If we're sitting at 1-4, 1-3 at that point, then there's a big problem. We lose to the Raiders in Houston, there's a big problem. But we beat the Raiders, we beat Houston, and we beat the Ravens. We're being talked about as one of the best teams in the league. And then are you going to want to still fire Matt Canada? I mean, the NFL season's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You could say it a million times. People just will never get that concept.